Excitement filled the air as 5 young boys ventured into the rugged mountains of Warryong, eager to explore and hunt for salamander eggs in the pristine streams and ponds near their village on the outskirts of Daegu, South Korea. It was March 26, 1991, a historic day marked by South Korea's first local election in over 3 decades. With the government declaring a temporary holiday to commemorate this momentous occasion, schools were closed, granting the boys the freedom to embark on their outdoor escapade. The boys, Woo Cho-won, Jo Hon-young, Kim Yong-sik, Park Chan-hin, and Kim Yong-woo were close friends renowned in the neighborhood for their adventurous spirit and boundless love for the great outdoors. Their families, residing in a tight-knit village on the fringes of Daegu, lived in close proximity, creating a sense of community that extended beyond blood relations. Encircled by quaint houses, the children often found themselves immersed in play near the lush paddy fields that adorned the front of the village. Their brotherly bond ensured they faced every adventure as one. The boys had a leisurely start to their day. By late morning, the group of 6 children from CCU Elementary School, including the 5 soon-to-be-known Frog Boys, congregated near Han's house, eager to embark on the anticipated adventure. However, their playful exuberance drew the ire of a tenant at Joe's house, prompting the youngsters to relocate their activities. Kim Tae-han, feeling hungry, decided to return home for breakfast and planned to join his friends later on in their adventure. As Tae-han finished his breakfast, he hurried to join his friends. However, before he left, his mother warned him sternly not to venture too far from the village. Catching up with the other boys at the entrance of a hiking trail, Tae-han heard their plans to ascend Mount Warryong in search of salamander eggs. Remembering his mother's admonition, he decided to return home, preferring to forego the adventure rather than face his mother's anger. Little did he know, his choice would spare him the tragic fate that befell the other boys. Welcome to another episode of Sofa, Mocha, and Mystery. My name is Taya. If you're new, welcome. If not, thank you for joining us again. Today we are delving into the story known as The Frog Boys. The first indication of trouble came at 1 p.m. where Woo, One's father, received a notification from the Taekwondo Academy that One had missed his lesson. Had One simply lost track of time, or was something far more sinister unfolding? Woo began asking his neighbors if they had seen the boys. By 6 p.m., the boys' absence was conspicuous, spreading unease through the tight-knit community. Woo and the other parents began searching Mount Warryong frantically for their missing children. Despite their relentless efforts, the mountain remained silent, offering no clues to their whereabouts. As dusk fell, cloaking the mountain in darkness, the parents decided to contact the authorities. They watched as the local police arrived, bringing a glimmer of hope to the darkening landscape. Together, they conducted a painstaking search, combing through the rugged terrain into the early morning hours, each passing minute intensifying the dread that hung heavy in the air. As the days stretched into weeks, the initial response to the boys' disappearance remained muted. The local media was preoccupied with the fervor of the ongoing elections, diverting attention from the saga of the missing children. Despite the parents' desperate pleas for assistance, Their cries seemed to fall on deaf ears, with law enforcement quick to dismiss the case as mere runaways. This dismissive attitude not only intensified the anguish of the parents, but also fueled suspicions of a deliberate attempt to downplay the severity of the situation. In a bid to prevent their children from fading into obscurity, the parents decided to take matters into their own hands. They orchestrated a strategic appearance on The Square of Public Opinion, a widely watched television program. Broadcasting live from CCU Elementary School, the interview aimed to break through the election coverage and draw national attention to their plight. However, the emotional discourse took an unexpected turn when a phone call interrupted the broadcast, purporting to be from one of the missing boys, Young-sik, tearfully pleading to come home. The sudden end to the call left viewers both stunned and hopeful. Sadly, subsequent investigations revealed the call to be a heartless prank, crushing the parents' fleeting optimism. Despite this setback, their appearance on the show sparked a groundswell of public support, uniting the community in their resolve to find the missing boys. The emotional appeal of the parents resonated deeply with viewers across South Korea, igniting widespread outrage at the perceived lack of progress in the investigation. This pivotal moment marked a shift in the public's perception of the case, with mounting pressure on the authorities to take more decisive action. The president of South Korea, President Daegu, took action, ordering the police to launch the largest missing persons search in Korean history. A force comprising over 300,000 policemen, along with officials from the Special Investigation Center, spread out across the nation, scouring every conceivable location. From bus terminals to irrigation waterways, reservoirs to alleys, and virtually every train station, no area was left unexplored in the relentless quest for answers. At the forefront of the mission were the fathers of the missing boys, resolute in their commitment to leave no stone unturned in their relentless pursuit to locate their beloved children. These fathers made significant sacrifices, forsaking their jobs, securing a modest van, and embarking on a nationwide journey to find their missing sons. Despite grappling with emotional turmoil and seeking solace in alcohol, the fathers maintain a facade of strength in the public eye. Confronting journalists from across the nation with steely determination, they remain composed, mindful that their children might be watching, yearning for their return. Yet, the parents found hope not only in government aid, but in the support of public entities. Companies, schools, and civic groups united, pooling resources to offer a reward of over 42 million won, equivalent to $35,000 at that time, for any information leading to the recovery of the missing boys. Flyers bearing the boys' faces adorned buildings nationwide, replacing newspapers, cartoons, candy wrappers, phone cards, billboards, and even milk cartons, etching the name Frog Boys into the collective memory, a stark reminder of the chilling circumstances surrounding their disappearance. As days turned into weeks and then months, the search yielded few answers. Yet, amid the whirlwind of speculation and conjecture, one question remained paramount. Were the boys still alive? Finally, it seemed they had a break in the case. An individual claiming responsibility for the abduction contacted authorities, asserting that he had kidnapped the children and provided details of their purported dire living conditions, even alleging that 2 of the boys were gravely ill. Demanding a significant ransom, he outlined the terms of the exchange. As the parents and the police converged at the designated location, they anxiously awaited for an hour, but to no avail. Eventually, they were left with no option but to return home. The stranger never reached out again, and as weeks turned into months and months painfully transitioned into years, the parents found themselves ensnared in an unending cycle of torment, trapped in the same agonizing uncertainty that had haunted them since the very first day their beloved boys disappeared. On September 26, 2002, more than 10 years after the disappearance of the 5 young boys, 2 adventurers stumbled upon a nightmarish secret hidden within the serene expanse of Mount Warryong. What began as a leisurely hike amidst the picturesque scenery of acorn collecting swiftly morphed into a bone-chilling discovery that would reverberate across the nation. Within the rugged terrain, a shallow pit revealed a shocking scene. Amongst the fragments of children's clothing lay human-like bones, a horrifying testament to a sinister tale lurking in the shadows. This wasn't just any crime scene. It was the grim aftermath of one of South Korea's most bewildering mysteries, the vanishing of the Frog Boys. Promptly reacting to the discovery, authorities flooded the mountain. What emerged was a harrowing scene. The skeletal remains of the boys, some covered in moss, methodically placed in a shallow pit. Their clothes lay alongside the bones, tied together with strange knots. Yet amidst the horror, questions remained. How could such a crucial site elude detection for over a decade, despite exhaustive searches? Initially attributed to the cruelty of nature, with whispers of hypothermia echoing through the slopes, doubts lingered beneath the surface. Could the tragic fate of these boys truly be ascribed to the elements? Skeptics dared to challenge the narrative, probing how these seasoned mountain explorers could succumb to the mountain's embrace, just steps from home. They surmised that a more plausible explanation was that someone intimately acquainted with Mount Warryong had orchestrated this grisly concealment. The boys' parents were deeply troubled by the initial police assessment that their children had succumbed to the mountain's harsh conditions. This explanation seemed far too convenient, and their suspicions grew when the police failed to provide substantial evidence supporting their theory. As questions swirled around the handling of the case, disturbing details emerged about the pit where the boys were found. How had this site remained hidden for over a decade, despite extensive searches dating back to their disappearance in 1991? The intricate knots binding their clothing further hinted at the meticulous planning of their demise. These strange details suggested that the perpetrators were no amateurs, exhibiting a disturbing level of expertise and aggression in the execution of their crime. The mishandling of the crime scene only deepened the mystery. Reports surfaced of crucial evidence being tampered with, and the children's remains being transported in a negligent manner, including the use of potato sacks instead of standard body bags. Police personnel inadvertently disrupted the site with pickaxes instead of employing proper forensic techniques. These lapses in procedure left investigators grappling with a multitude of unanswered questions, each one adding another layer of complexity to the already confounding case. Fueled by a lack of trust in the authorities' handling of the case, the parents insisted on independent autopsies to uncover the truth. The results of these autopsies these were nothing short of a nightmare. The findings revealed a grim reality. The boys had been murdered. Their bodies showed clear signs of violence. Some had suffered severe head injuries from blunt force, while others bore bullet wounds. The discovery of these brutal injuries shattered the parents' last hopes, plunging them into a new depth of despair. For the parents, these revelations were a devastating blow. After years of clinging to the hope that their children might be found alive, they were now confronted with the heartbreaking truth of their brutal deaths. The independent autopsies not only confirmed their worst fears, but also highlighted the grave misjudgments and potential negligence in the initial police investigation, emphasizing the need for a thorough and sincere investigation into the true circumstances surrounding the Frog Boys' tragic end. In the decades following the disappearance of the 5 boys, many theories have emerged. Some believe that 2 perpetrators were lurking in the shadows, while others argue that a single predator, consistent in their brutality, was responsible. As the community wrestled with the uncertainty, a web of speculation emerged, each theory more disturbing than the last. Some suggest that the boys encountered desperate lecturers who believed that the livers of young children could cure them. Others propose that their fate was sealed by a tragic accident at a nearby military firing range. Amidst the speculation, a criminal psychologist accused a father of the unthinkable crime. However, as the dust settled, no evidence was found to support these damning allegations. Theories abound, but one thing remains certain. The truth lies shrouded in the fog of Mount Warryong. As time passed, hope dwindled to a faint glimmer. In 2006, the statute of limitations dashed any chance of justice, leaving the families to grieve alone. But in 2015, a change in the law reignited optimism, offering a possibility for closure after years of sorrow. With each sunset, the pain of loss remains, a constant reminder of the unhealed wounds. For the fathers who've endured so much, their plea is unchanged. Let our children rest in peace. Until the truth is uncovered, the mystery of the Frog Boys will continue to haunt Mount Warryong, casting its shadow on the village for generations. As with any unsolved case, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notifications button.